And we are live here on the ETBU Sports Net. This is Mark T. Robinson once again on the call. We're just moments away from the opening tip of the ETBU men's basketball contest against the University of the Ozarks. Folks, got to catch my breath for a second. We'll be back with the starting lineups after the playing of our national anthem and a quick look at the keys to the matchup here for the Tigers as we are just moments away from the opening tip. Folks, you know the drill. We'll be back with the start of the first half of this contest. Don't go anywhere. And we're back here on the ETBU Sportsnet, moments away from the opening tip of tonight's contest against the University of the Ozarks Eagles. And let's get to the starting lineups, folks. First, for the visiting Ozarks, number 1, Bryson Johnson. He is joined in the backcourt, or rather at that forward spot, by number 11, Ethan Bowman. He is also joined by number 15, Skylar Barnes, number 21, Darnell Renalique, and number 22, Calvin Knight. So a 1-guard, 4-forward set for the Ozarks, going with a lot of size here in their starting lineup. And for your ETB Tigers, we've got the usual suspects in Robbie Dooley, Jordan Gray, Nathan Fontenot, Weston Riddick at the 4th spot, and Chris Haynes to round it out. So the Tigers trying to bounce back from a 12-point loss to the Ozarks. The Ozarks shot considerably well from the 3-point line. Tigers did struggle from above the arc, but they are looking to really bounce back here. This is a team. It's a crossover by Fontenot, but he lost it. And here comes Johnson going up against Weston Riddick, blocked from behind by Dooley, but a foul, as the body-to-body contact will produce the first free throws of the night for the Eagles here, just 25 seconds into the start of the ball game. And as I said, the Tigers didn't shoot particularly well from 3. Just 6 for 22 as the first free throw by Johnson is good. Struggled from deep and really looked to kind of flip the script here in the matchup. Keys to the game for the Tigers, obviously, they are a tremendous three-point shooting team. So when they shoot well from 3, it typically produces wins for them, as they shot 46% from 3 in the matchup against University of Texas Tyler. Of course, that coming away with a victory. Here is Weston Riddick, the fall away by Nathan Fontenot, and he scores the first bucket for the Tigers. And Nathan Fontenot operating in the paint that time and hitting off the curl. I think that's one of the things that is also important for ETBU, is getting going early. They got off to some slow starts. And the Weston Riddick factor, he was scoreless in the Saturday game, as a nice post up there by Calvin Knight, and he's able to score down low, getting it over to Weston Riddick off the feed from Dooley. But the Tigers, again, a young team, no seniors graduating this year. The pop out, and here's Riddick for the 3, was knocked to the ground, and no call, and Johnson stumbles, falls to the deck, and Robbie Dooley called for the foul from behind. So already 2 fouls for ETBU. In the last game, the Ozarks attempted 42 free throws to ETBU's 25. So that has been a little bit of an issue as of late for ETBU, as that pass nearly picked off, but Renalique able to get a hand on it and gets it down low to Barnes, who scores. And it's a 6-2 lead right now for the Ozarks. Tigers prior to that had I believe it was a long winning streak against this team, as Haynes in the post, looking for the open man, finds Dooley, and Robbie on the pull-up at the elbow is good. Robbie Dooley with a smooth jumper from the outside. But the Tigers had what was a 6-game winning streak against this Ozarks team before it was snapped on Saturday. But again, the Tigers, both teams battling for that ASC position, as Knight inside, bullying his way to the rack, and he scores just on the inside, and it's an 8-4 lead right now for the Ozarks. Weston Riddick putting it on the deck. Good defense by Bowman, kicks it out. Dooley thought about the 3. Robbie Dooley had a fantastic 2-game road trip, averaged 25 points per game on better than 60% shooting. He pops out for the 3, too strong, and rebounded by Barnes. Collides with Haynes, but the Ozarks come up the floor as Johnson, the high runner, won't go. Tipped around, and Renalique able to corral it and keeps it alive for the Ozarks. The extra bounce and another possession. The cut by Renalique, kicks it back out, and Bowman's triple won't go. Rebounded by Haynes. Bowman was 0 of 5 from 3, 3 for 10 overall from the field, but he got to the line 12 times, was 11 of 12 for 17 points to lead the Ozarks on Saturday. And the long three by Fontenot, well within his range, and he drills it from just about the ETBU training room, and hits an 8-7 lead, though, for the Ozarks. But Fontenot with 5 quick points. He scored 8 points on Saturday on just a 3 of 11 shooting, the pump fake, and they kick it out. Barnes, a long three off the mark and out of bounds. And the bright spots, though, for this ETBU Tigers men's basketball team is Jordan Gray. As Jarrell Taylor comes in, replacing Weston Riddick, and Zach Elliott also in the ball game. So a couple changes for ETBU here. Just about at that 4-minute mark here of the first half. And the hesitation and a foul called on Johnson. Both number ones in Fontenot and Johnson battling. And we're going to have ourselves our first media timeout. We're right at the 16-minute mark here of the first half. Your Tigers down 1, 8-7. We've got a long way to go here on the ETBU Sports Net, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome to your hometown Whataburger. We're getting busy in here. To me, quality means perfection. From the time that you hit the door to the time that you leave, we serve quality.
Their quality is just number one for me. You can taste that with every burger. The customer service is perfect.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
It's always a great experience here.
The first bite makes you feel all warm and happy inside.
It's never disappointing, and it's always quality every single time you come.
Quality is what keeps you coming back.
It's your hometown Whataburger. Quality like no other.
We are back here on the ETBU Sports Net. Tigers down by just 1 here. Already a little bit better than they did in Saturday's matchup. As Fontenot will step back, the hesitation, the baseline drive, kicks it out. Wide open, straight on three for Jarrell Taylor, and he drills it. Jarrell Taylor was in a bit of foul trouble in the weekend contest, but knocks down that triple, giving the Tigers an early 2-point lead. But this is an Ozarks team who knocked off Laterno University the day before, picking up the win over the ETBU Tigers. Here's the three by Lance Gardner. Won't go, but Bowman gets the offensive rebound, looking for the jump, and he'll get it, but it will stay with the Ozarks. So throw it in here. There's Jacoby Davis, and he gets it to Johnson to set it up. But Jacoby Davis was one of those bright spots for the Ozarks on Saturday. Bowman kicking it back out to Johnson. The crossover against Dooley. He doesn't bite. Gets it over to Davis. The kick to Gardner. Gardner looking. Inside it goes to Wilhelm, and Wilhelm able to score. Wilhelm ties this game at 10. He's a 6'7", 250-pound junior out of Ratcliffe, Arkansas. Zach Elliott working out top. Will feed it inside for Dooley, and they call a hold as Robbie Dooley was cutting to the basket. And that's going to be first personal on Jacoby Davis. And so checking in, Cordy Winston, who played well, had 12 points. All 4 of his shots coming from beyond the arc. Good back in by Taylor, won't go. Rebounded by Gardner, looking for Winston, and he pushes up the floor, gets it to Davis, and Jacoby Davis will back out. Tigers do a great job of getting back defensively. Gardner will skip it over. The long three by Winston. He made him pay from 3 the other night. That time not able to hit A strong athletic rebound by Jordan Gray. Gray, the bounce, and a beautiful feed. Gray to Elliott for the scoop and score. And it's a 12-10 lead. ETBU on top by 2. What a great pass by Jordan Gray. As Winston works up top. Davis looking, skips it over to Bowman. Over to Wilhelm. And the reverse up and in. And Wilhelm scoring the last 4 points now for the Ozarks. The crossover by Dooley kicks it to Taylor. Now Fontenot waiting. Great trying to operate through several screens. And now Taylor, another triple. Too strong that time. Rebounded by Wilhelm. And coming up the floor is Winston now. And he'll settle it down. Ozarks looking to take the lead here. Tied at 12. Just over 13 minutes to go here in this first half. The baseline drive and hands it off. And Wilhelm again. So he has the last 6 now. As the interior scoring for the Ozarks taking into effect. The long 3 by Fontenot is off the mark and rebounded by the Eagles. They lead by 2. And the penetration is the fadeaway by Jacoby Davis as he operates, slithering inside. He scores on the step back, and it's a 4-point lead now for the Ozarks. Here's Gray operating, getting it over to Robbie Dooley, who scored 28 points against this Eagles squad. The pull-up by Dooley is in and out, but an offensive foul called away from the ball on Zach Elliott. So that is going to be his first, and a 13 foul for the Tigers here. As Spencer Cochran, Weston Riddick, that is. Almost said Winston Riddick. And Chris Haynes back into the ball game for ETBU. So a couple changes from both sides as Skylar Barnes has also checked back in for the Eagles, and a traveling violation on Winston. I wonder why that's not called more often. Players usually catch the ball and before putting it down take 2 steps and then dribble, which technically is a travel. That time it was called, so stop the presses on that one. Here comes Robbie Dooley here. The high post to Haynes. He likes to operate in that area. Very comfortable. Dooley wide open as they sag off of him. Drills the mid-range jumper. Robbie Dooley with 4 points. He's making him pay from the outside. Normally a slasher. They sag off. And he's got the room to knock down the 2. 2-point lead now for the Ozarks. Skip over to Gardner here, working against the defense of Taylor. Wilhelm has scored the last 6. And now Gardner for 3. Nothing but air. And here comes Robbie Dooley up the floor for ETBU. The drive. Looking inside. Kicks it out. Weston Riddick. Open 3. In and out. And Weston trying to find the bottom of the net. He's had a few good looks. Not able to connect, though. And Winston looking. Doing a good job there. The Tigers are in their 3-2 zone. Gardner bobbles it. Gets it inside to Wilhelm. He's double-teamed. Wilhelm trying to find the open man. Kicks it to Barnes. Barnes is open for 3 and knocks it down with the shot clock down to 7. And it's a 5-point lead now for the Ozarks as they are methodically operating through this zone that the Tigers are in defensively. Up top it goes to Haynes. Haynes draws 2 going against Wilhelm. And Wilhelm deflects it out of bounds. On a good defensive effort. 11:01 to play here. Tigers trail by 5, 19-14. They've got a little bit of work to do here if they want to overtake the Ozarks. We'll be back on the ETBU Sports Net.
Faith, determination, loyalty, teamwork. These are just a few of the core values that both East Texas Baptist University and Marshall Ford Lincoln have in common. I'm Matt Moore, General Manager at Marshall Ford Lincoln, and at Marshall Ford Lincoln, we're both proud and grateful for our relationship with East Texas Baptist University Athletics. From all of us at Marshall Ford Lincoln, we wish you nothing but success in your 2017-2018 seasons, and go get 'em, Tigers.
Wait, what? We're back here on the ETBU Sports Net. Tigers shooting 46% from the field. They trail by 5, 2 of 7 from deep. So far, the Ozarks have been methodically working in the paint as Wilhelm has scored since checking in for them. Corey Wilhelm has scored 6 of their last 11 points, so he is on a bit of a run himself. As checking in is Nolan Johnson. Nice feed inside for Spencer Cochran for the score. Good overhead pass by Weston Riddick, and it's a 3-point game now with 10:50 to play here in the first half. Jacoby Davis on the operating on the perimeter, that is. Getting it over to Barnes. Barnes looking the pump fake. Great defense by ETBU. Putting the pressure on Barnes. A tough catch. Gets it inside for Calvin Knight, who just checked in. A drop step, the spin inside. Can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Haynes. And quickly gets it out to Nolan Johnson on the push. Johnson looking. And he'll settle it down. Nolan Johnson off the Haynes screen. The crossover. Johnson looking inside. Had a strip from behind by Winston, but Spencer Cochran able to get a hand on it. Kicks it out to Weston Riddick. Shot clock at 10, so plenty of time to operate. Here comes Jordan Gray. Gray will just pull it from deep. Won't go, but the offensive rebound gets into the hands of Haynes. And a new 30-second shot clock in which ETBU can operate. Here is Gray. Had a solid road trip. Averaged about 18 points. As look over again, Jordan Gray going behind the back, looking inside. The crossover again. This time the short pull-up. Jordan Gray knocks it down in a beautiful move by Gray to create the space and the score. And it's a 1-point game now. 19-18 ETBU. As we are at just about the 9:30 mark here of this first half. The skip over for Barnes. The outside Barnes trying to get away from the defense of Gray that time. And the bounce over. Winston looking, getting it to Barnes. Barnes the catch, fires from 3, nothing but air. Rebounded by the combination of Cochran and Johnson. Here comes Nolan Johnson looking, no look over to Weston Riddick. Open 3, in and out. Weston Riddick, another great look. And he's going to want that one back. The crossover by Jacoby Davis gets to the rack but can't finish. And a scramble, and somehow Barnes comes out of the pack with it, and he draws the foul inside. So you got bodies all over the deck. Barnes will shoot 2. I tell you, Weston Riddick, he is going to want 2 of the 3 3-pointers he's attempted, both so wide open and shots that he can make with his eyes closed. As Barnes at the line for the Ozarks, in and out. Skylar Barnes, just a 59% free throw shooter. As checking into the ball game for the Ozarks is Deon Blackmore. Deon Blackmore really gave the Tigers problems in Saturday's meeting. In fact, he had about a 6-minute stretch where he scored 12 consecutive points. Didn't see any time in the second half, but scored all of his points in that stint and really helped to put the Ozarks on top and keep the momentum going for them. Kicking out to Jarrell Taylor. Thought about the 3. Going off the dribble this time. Kicks it out to Nolan Johnson. Shot clock is at 5. Johnson inside. Stripped from behind. And the turnover. Here comes Blackmore. The feed inside to Renelick. Out top. Johnson's 3. Too strong. Rebounded by Jarrell Taylor. Here comes Johnson the push. 20-18 is the lead. The crossover kicks it out. Great thought about the triple, but a good closeout by Blackmore. Baseline drive. Gray the hang and the hit. The score by Jordan Gray, and we're all tied at 20. That's a nice move by Jordan. And with under 8 minutes to play, Tigers looking to kind of build on this run. Renelick working against Taylor. And the lob over to Calvin Knight. He's wide open in the paint and eventually shoots it hard off the heel. Here comes the ETBU Tigers and Jordan Gray. Gray, no look over to Nolan Johnson. The pump fake by Cochran. Skips it over to Johnson. Johnson was open on that initial play. Did not look to shoot it, though. Gray, he clears the way now for Haynes to operate, kicking it out to Nolan Johnson, the baseline drive. Johnson up and under, can't get it to fall, and deflected out by the Ozarks. It will stay with ETBU. Got a good one going so far. Tigers tie with the Eagles, 20-20. We'll be back after this media timeout.
I'm excited about the next 4 years and what the future holds for me at ETBU.
We're Christ-centered University, and we're putting God first.
We are the light on the hill. God calls us to be the light and to spread it.
I feel like I'm experiencing something that I'm not going to ever experience again, and I wouldn't change it for anything else.
Ever since the day I stepped foot on this campus, I have felt right at home.
And we're back here on the ETBU Sports Net. Tigers shooting 47% from the floor. Just 2 of 9 from 3 thus far. But right now they are all tied at 20. As Robbie Dooley has checked back in for ETBU. Looking for the open man. Will find Gray. Gray, quick catch and shoot for 3. Bounces over the backboard and out of bounds, so that's going to go right back to the Ozarks. Good look from Gray, but not able to convert. He does have 4 points on the 2-of-4 start for the field. Scored a season-high 23 against Texas Tyler. As they look over again, the crossover, kicking it back out to Barnes. Barnes on the fake, and now getting down low, skips it out. Renalique for 3, off the mark, rebounded by Gray. Definitely not a 3-point shooter, so Tigers will happily give that up. As Gray operating off the screen. Gray on the scoop, can't get it to fall. And let's see, there's going to be a foul call. First personal on, let's see, Chris Haynes, as Nathan Fontenot back into the ball game, replacing Jordan Gray. Gray coming back into form. He's been nicked up by several injuries over the past 2 years or so. He is so important to this men's program. If they're to make any type of moves in the postseason. Speaking of, this Ozarks team on the outside looking in right now. They are 5-6. And a travel called, and the Tigers forced the turnover, so it'll go back to the Tigers. But just looking at the standings here, they are currently 5-6, 6-14 overall. But if they win tonight, they'll go to 6-6 and be tied for that 4th spot in the ASC standings. Looking inside. The fake and the drive. Robbie Dooley draws the foul, getting right into the middle of the paint. Comes up hobbling, though. Hopefully he's okay. He cannot afford to go down. As he said, had an interesting conversation a while ago with head coach Brandon Curry. He said he is not allowed to get hurt, as they already are down Landon Brown, as the first free throw is good by Dooley. Both Brown and Gavin Sabo, who is a huge emotional leader for this team as well. A lot said by Curran of Sabo's intensity and how he is just able to always encourage his team, always encourage each and every one of these players. As both free throws are good by Robbie Dooley. He is shooting better than 86% from the line coming in. Was 8 for 8 against the Ozarks on Saturday. The baseline drive, Barnes, the up and under, and scores. A nice move against the defense of ETBU, and we're tied at 22. The push to Fontenot, the feed inside for Elliott, and Elliott has that ball deflected. As Keith Cockerham getting some run, and simultaneously Ethan Bowman checking in for the Ozarks. Kicking it over to Elliott, back to Fontenot. Fontenot looking the inside and kicking it out. Keith Cockerham for three, short. The back tap, but taken and rebounded by the Ozarks. That was number 25, Sean Combs, collecting it. Kicks it over to Bowman on the baseline. Had a tough time handling that. Good closeout, and Renalique on the outside looking. Kicks it to Johnson. Johnson trying to penetrate. Gets it, kicks it out to Bowman. Bowman's triple off the mark. He is officially 0 for 7 in over the last two games. The follow won't go, and Bowman gives him a third opportunity. And Johnson jacks up a three, and this time it falls. So second chance opportunities paying off that time for the Ozarks, and it's a 3-point lead right now as the bounce inside for Elliott. Elliott looking, kicks it out to Dooley. Dooley going to go off the dribble. He will, slithers his way inside, going right against the defense, hits a brick wall, goes to the deck, and laying it up and in is Blackmore for the Ozarks. And just like that, the Eagles up by 5, and the Tigers in for a fight here in the early going. As I say in the standings, as Fontenot jacking up the long triple. He hit one from there a moment ago. That one in and out. And Johnson on the push. He'll back it out. Gets it over to Renalique. Renalique looking to bounce over to Blackmore. They go inside. That ball deflected out. It will stay with the Eagles. But as I said, this is a huge game for both teams. With 4:04 left here in the half, Jordan Gray has checked back in, replacing Spencer Cochran. But as we look at where the Tigers are in the standings, they are slightly under 500 at 9-10 overall, 6-5 in ASC play. As Combs drives inside and scores right underneath, and it's a 7-point lead now for the Ozarks. And a technical foul called. I believe it's on the Eagles, as Combs was in the ear of Zach Elliott the entire time, up and down the floor. And it's a 7-point lead, but that could change momentum here, as we're going to have ourselves another media timeout. 3:52 to play. Getting a little chippy down there, as we have already talked about what's at stake, but we'll be back on the ETBU Sports Net. Folks, it's a good one. Don't go anywhere.
I love the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger. Absolutely the best thing ever.
You asked for it, and it's back.
It's back! It comes with 2 100% pure beef patties.
You have the crunchiness of the bacon, the onions, when it all comes together. The sauce plays a big role in a sandwich. When you combine it with everything, that's what makes it so good.
A1 Thick and Hearty! It's back. That's the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger.
It's back at Whataburger for a limited time.
It's a little piece of heaven right here.
We're back on the ETBU Sports Net as Nathan Fontenot steps to the line for the Tigers after the technical foul picked up by the Ozarks. Sean Combs, as Fontenot at the line for the season, 93%. And there goes that percentage, as misses on the first. First time in a while he's missed a free throw, though. And he misses both. Nathan Fontenot not able to cash in. The least likely to come up short at the line. And so, Tigers not able to take advantage here. They could have made this possibly a 5-point stretch. The drive by Fontenot, the fake, the left hand won't go, and he's going to go back to the line as he gets to the rack. And that foul called on Renalique. So that's the 15th foul for the Ozarks. 15th foul also for ETBU. So Fontenot trying to make amends for missing those first two, and he hits the first here. Tigers shooting just 39% from the field. And they're down by 6, make it 5 as Fontenot comes through at the line. So instead of making it a 3-point game, they'll settle for a 5-point deficit here. 3:37 to play. The skip over to Bowman. And Bowman will bounce it over to Johnson. Johnson looking, will back it out against the 3-2 zone of the Tigers. They swing it again, lobbing it over to Bowman. Bowman, the baseline drive, cut off nicely by Elliott and forcing the steal. It's a turnover. Taylor will get it over to Gray. Jordan Gray splitting through, looking over to Dooley. Dooley for 3, too strong. Offensive rebound goes into the hands of Fontenot. Fontenot for 3, in and out. Goes to the deck, was looking for a foul. The throw ahead, Blackmore denied by Zach Elliott. He went up, and Elliott said, "Get it out of here," and the Tigers maintain possession. Here's Jarrell Taylor off the dribble, the crossover, getting inside, and too strong on a layup. Gets his own miss, and scores inside. It's a 3-point game. Tigers are battling, but what a defensive play by Zach Elliott. 2:33 left here in the first half as they lob it over to the corner for Blackmore. He's able to stay in bounds. Gets it over up top to Renalique. Back to Blackmore. He fires a 3 off the mark, but Calvin Knight with the offensive rebound going up against Elliott. Can't score it though. And rebounded by Dooley. It squirts away from him, and able to find the loose ball was Blackmore. He scores. And it's back to a 5-point game, 31-26, 2:11 to play. Ozarks call for time. We'll be back on the ETBU Sports Net. Folks, don't go anywhere.
In towns across East Texas, folks have rely on the jalapeno tree for fresh, healthy, and made-to-order crazy good Mexican food, crafted with local love and care, with a focus on customer service and satisfaction. And not on the bottom line, the jalapeno tree stands behind everything they serve. So the next time you're seeking a unique dining experience, look beyond the boring big chain fare. For the complete menu and the location nearest you, visit jalapenotree.com.
Tigers once again in a bit of a struggle, and this is now the 4th straight game. They've gotten off to a slow start offensively in the first half. Started at Belhaven where they were shooting just 36% from the field, shot just 36% from the field against UT Tyler. And right now, 37% from the floor in this half. As Elliott looking, kicks it out. Jarrell Taylor for 3, can't get the roll. Tigers now just 2 of 15 from beyond the arc. Now to putting on the deck. The Jets kicks it out to Gardner, and Gardner knocks down the 3. And right now, the Ozarks have the momentum. The drive, Robbie Dooley, the scoop, the score. Dooley inside, he's got 8 points. And it's back to a 6-point game here as under a minute and a half to go in this first half. And the Tigers have got to find something here to get themselves going. The bounce inside for Jacoby Davis, up. It won't go. The tip, it stays with the Eagles as the Tigers deflected it out of bounds. Chris Haynes checking in for ETBU. He had 13 points against the Ozarks, shot 7 of 8 at the line in their first meeting on last Saturday. Looking inside, we'll lob it over to Bowman. Inside it goes to Knight, the swing. And great ball with Gardner again from that same spot in the corner. It won't go, and great job by Jordan Gray pulling down that board. Gray looking, probing, kicks it out to Dooley. Robbie inside, got the step, can't score it off the glass. Gardner lost it, and Dooley will chase it down. Thought about the three, skipping it over to Fontenot. Fontenot for three. He can't cash in. Offensive rebound goes to Haynes. Haynes banks it back up and in. And once again, the Tigers just battling and keeping the possession alive. Comes up with the score. It's a 4-point lead, though, for the Ozarks, as we're down to about a 7-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Johnson will run it down. Looking, skips it over to Bowman. Bowman cut off nicely along the baseline. 2 on the clock. Gardner's long triple won't go, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Good possession defense by ETBU, and the Tigers with 7.1 seconds to go will look to score here. Dooley will let it roll, and now he picks it up. He's looking to attack the inside out dribble, gets inside, loses his man, goes up in a foul. A beautiful move in the open floor. I thought we were going to see some more ankles being snatched away, but does not convert as he's fouled going up. And we're going to have ourselves a quick timeout here. 2.7 seconds to go. Tigers trailing 34-30. We'll be back on the ETBU Sports Net.
Faith, determination, loyalty, teamwork. These are just a few of the core values that both East Texas Baptist University and Marshall Ford Lincoln have in common. I'm Matt Moore, General Manager of Marshall Ford Lincoln, and at Marshall Ford Lincoln, we're both proud and grateful for our relationship with East Texas Baptist University Athletics. From all of us at Marshall Ford Lincoln, we wish you nothing but success in your 2017-2018 seasons, and go get 'em, Tigers.
ETBU once again with 2.7 seconds left. Let's see what the final seconds will produce. As Dooley to inbound, gets it over to Haynes. Haynes on the fake. Haynes trying to get it off. Haynes, the leaner, won't go. Dooley couldn't get a hand on it, and that will end the first half. The Tigers struggling a bit from the floor, but they're down by 4, 34-30 as we go to the break. We'll be back here on the ETBU Sports Net with the second half of tonight's ASC contest between your ETBU Tigers and University of the Ozarks.
I am an NEC student athlete.
I will sacrifice to reach my goals.
I will not make excuses.
I will leave my comfort zone.
I will not be afraid to fail.
I will push myself to the limit.
I will support my teammates.
I will compete with respect.
I will make a positive difference in people's lives.
I will rise to the occasion.
I will succeed in my sport.
I will succeed in life.
And I will enjoy every second of the journey.
Welcome to your hometown Whataburger. We're getting busy in here to meet quality means perfection. From the time that you hit the door to the time that you leave, we serve quality.
Their quality is just number one for me. You can taste that with every burger. The customer service is perfect.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
It's always a great experience here. The first bite makes you feel all warm and happy inside.
It's never disappointing and it's always quality every single time.
Quality is what keeps you coming back.
Get your hometown Whataburger. Quality like no other.
Faith, determination, loyalty, teamwork. These are just a few of the core values that both East Texas Baptist University and Marshall Ford Lincoln have in common. I'm Matt Moore, General Manager of Marshall Ford Lincoln, and at Marshall Ford Lincoln, we're both proud and grateful for our relationship with East Texas Baptist University Athletics. From all of us at Marshall Ford Lincoln, we wish you nothing but success in your 2017-2018 seasons, and go get 'em, Tigers.
I'm excited about the next 4 years and what the future holds for me at ETBU.
We're Christ-centered university, so we're putting God first.
We are the light on the hill. God calls us to be the light and to spread it.
I feel like I'm experiencing something that I'm not going to ever experience again, and I wouldn't change it for anything else.
Ever since the day I stepped foot on this campus, I have felt right at home.
With friendly locations all over East Texas, the Jalapeno Tree has long been a favorite East Texas dining destination for young and old alike. Best known for sizzling fajitas, famous star dinners, and the very best tortillas around. The extensive menu featuring a large assortment of both traditional favorites as well as new contemporary dishes has something for every taste. The Jalapeno Tree invites you to visit the Pepper Posse today. For the complete menu and the location nearest you, visit jalapenotree.com.
The A1 Thick and Hearty Burger is back.
I love the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger. Absolutely the best thing ever.
You asked for it and it's back.
It comes with 200% pure beef patties.
You have the crunchiness of the bacon.
The onions, when it all comes together.
The sauce plays a big role in a sandwich. When you combine it with everything, that's what makes it so good.
A1 Thick and Hearty. It's back. That's the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger.
It's back at Whataburger for a limited time.
It's a little piece of heaven right here.
In towns across East Texas, folks have come to rely on the Jalapeno Tree for fresh, healthy, and made-to-order crazy good Mexican food, crafted with local love and care, with a focus on customer service and satisfaction. And not on the bottom line, the Jalapeno Tree stands behind everything they serve. So the next time you're seeking a unique dining experience, look beyond the boring, big chain fare. For the complete menu and the location nearest you, visit jalapenotree.com. Family owned and operated, and with locations across East Texas, the Jalapeno Tree has a passion for crazy good Mexican food, striving to create a family-friendly atmosphere with a focus on fresh, healthy food, quality ingredients, and exemplary service. The Pepper Posse team has over 20 years' experience in crafting a wide variety of unique and made-to-order, delicious dining options each and every day. For the complete menu and the location nearest you, visit jalapenotree.com.
I am an EC student athlete.
I will sacrifice to reach my goals.
I will not make excuses.
I will leave my comfort zone.
I will not be afraid to fail.
I will push myself to the limit.
I will support my teammates.
I will compete with respect.
I will make a positive difference in people's lives.
I will rise to the occasion.
I will succeed in my sport. I will succeed in life.
And I will enjoy every second of the journey.
Welcome to your hometown Whataburger. We're getting busy in here. To me, quality means perfection. From the time that you hit the door to the time that you leave, we serve quality.
Their quality is just number one for me. You can taste that with every burger. The customer service is perfect.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
It's always a great experience here. The first bite makes you feel all warm and happy inside.
It's never disappointing and it's always quality every single time.
Quality is what keeps you coming back.
Get your hometown Whataburger. Quality like no other.
faith, determination, loyalty, teamwork. These are just a few of the core values that both East Texas Baptist University and Marshall Ford Lincoln have in common. I'm Matt Moore, General Manager of Marshall Ford Lincoln, and at Marshall Ford Lincoln, we're both proud and grateful for our relationship with East Texas Baptist University Athletics. From all of us at Marshall Ford Lincoln, we wish you nothing but success in your 2017-2018 seasons. And go get them, Tigers!
I'm excited about the next 4 years and what the future holds for me at ETBU.
We're Christ-centered university, and we're putting God first.
We are the light on the hill. God calls us to be the light and to spread it.
I feel like I'm experiencing something that I'm not going to ever experience again, and I wouldn't change it for anything else.
Ever since the day I stepped foot on this campus, I have felt right at home.
With friendly locations all over East Texas, the Jalapeno Tree has long been a favorite East Texas dining destination for young and old alike. Best known for sizzling fajitas, famous star dinners, and the very best tortillas around. The extensive menu featuring a large assortment of both traditional favorites as well as new contemporary dishes has something for every taste. The Jalapeno Tree invites you to visit the Pepper Posse today. For the complete menu and the location nearest you, visit jalapenotree.com.
I love the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger. Absolutely the best thing ever.
You asked for it, and it's back.
It's back! It comes with 200% pure beef patties.
You have the crunchiness of the bacon, the onions, when it all comes together. The sauce plays a big role in a sandwich. When you combine it with everything, that's what makes it so good.
A1 Thick and Hearty! It's back. That's the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger.
It's back at Whataburger for a limited time.
It's a little piece of heaven right here.
In towns across East Texas, folks have come to rely on the Jalapeno Tree for fresh, healthy, and made-to-order crazy good Mexican food, crafted with local love and care, with a focus on customer service and satisfaction. And not on the bottom line, the Jalapeno Tree stands behind everything they serve. So the next time you're seeking a unique dining experience, look beyond the boring, big chain fare. For the complete menu and the location nearest you, visit jalapenotree.com. Family owned and operated, and with locations across East Texas, the Jalapeno Tree has a passion for crazy good Mexican food, striving to create a family-friendly atmosphere with a focus on fresh, healthy food, quality ingredients, and exemplary service. The Pepper Posse team has over 20 years' experience in crafting a wide variety of unique and made-to-order, delicious dining options each and every day. For the complete menu and the location nearest you, visit jalapenotree.com.
I am an NC student athlete.
I will sacrifice to reach my goals.
I will not make excuses.
I will leave my comfort zone.
I will not be afraid to fail.
I will push myself to the limit.
I will support my teammates.
I will compete with respect.
I will make a positive difference in people's lives.
I will rise to the occasion.
I will succeed in my sport. I will succeed in life.
And I will enjoy every second of the journey.
Welcome to your hometown Whataburger. We're getting busy in here to meet quality means perfection. From the time that you hit the door to the time that you leave, we serve quality.
Their quality is just number one for me. You can taste that with every burger. The customer service is perfect.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
It's always a great experience here. The first bite makes you feel all warm and happy inside.
It's never disappointing and it's always quality every single time.
Quality is what keeps you coming back.
It's your hometown Whataburger. Quality like no other.
Faith, determination, loyalty, teamwork. These are just a few of the core values that both East Texas Baptist University and Marshall Ford Lincoln have in common. I'm Matt Moore, General Manager of Marshall.
We're back here on the ETBU Sports Net. And the Tigers, as we're just under a minute before the start of this second half, ETBU, once again for the fourth straight game, really struggling to come out of the gate. They're shooting just 36% from the field, 12.5% from beyond the arc. But the good thing is, number one, they're only down 4, so a ton of game left, obviously an entire half to work with. But they've only had 4 turnovers. Both teams have only turned the ball over 4 times. But the Ozarks have 10 assists to 4 turnovers. They themselves, however, not shooting well from beyond the arc, just 3 of 14. But they're shooting just 41% from the floor as well. So a big contrast to how well they shot in the first half of Saturday's contest, as starters for both teams coming out onto the floor. Leading the way for ETBU was none other than Robbie Dooley with 8 points. Nathan Fontenot had 7 on 2 uncharacteristic misses at the line. Leading the way for the Ozarks is Skylar Barnes with 8. So here we go. The start of the second half. Dooley on the crossover, gets right down the middle of the paint. The reverse, can't bank it home. Rebounded by Calvin Knight. And here comes a push by Johnson. Bryson Johnson against the ETBU defense. And Riddick goes to the deck. Gets back up. Cutting off Johnson nicely and forces a turnover as Riddick a little bit shaken up. Walking a little bit gingerly there. Trying to shake it off. And he'll put it in play for Robbie Dooley up the floor. So Tigers missed on their first possession, but they force a turnover defensively. Dooley looking inside, kicking it out to Riddick. Riddick off the dribble, the pull-up. It's good, and Weston Riddick, that could really get him going. I tell you, with three-point shooters, they just need to see one go through the net, and ultimately they need to just probably step in for their first couple shots before extending beyond the three-point line. And the ETBU Tigers force another turnover. So back-to-back strong defensive possessions from ETBU, and they'll get it back down to 34-32. We're just over a minute here to play as the miscommunication. Dooley turns it over. Here comes Johnson turning the corner. The left hand lays it up and in. And Bryson Johnson with the score. It's a 4-point lead now for the Ozarks. Fontenot gets it. He'll lob it inside for Haynes, working on the block. Haynes against Knight. Haynes, the drop step, the left hand. Can't score it, but a foul. And he'll go to the line for 2 shots. Haynes, a very good free throw shooter coming in. He is 80% at the stripe and hits the first. Especially at home, he does exceptionally well at the line. Had a stretch here at Arnellis where he connected on 17 consecutive free throws. Hits a pair there. And it's a 2-point lead right now for the Ozarks. Tigers still very much in it. Coach Brandon Curran, a lot of confidence in his team in spite of the fact that they've been a little bit up and down this year as Bowman hits on the floater right in the middle of the paint. And that's exactly what a zone defense is supposed to cut off. Instead, Bowman able to score right in the middle. Inside it goes to Hayes. Hayes making a quick move, kicks it out to Dooley. Robbie Dooley on the crossover. The hesitation, the drive, and trying to get back to that right hand. Can't score it. It's deflected out, and it will stay with the Tigers. So almost 2 minutes into the second half, as Gray, the catch, the fire, the three is good. Jordan Gray from downtown. Beautifully executed play, and we're within 1. Just getting ready to say a big 3-point shot would be in order right now for ETBU as Bowman steps through the defense. Barnes the catch. He is tiptoeing along that sideline, eventually gets it back out to set up the offense. And Bowman on the catch, looking, gets it up top. A long 3 from Johnson is off the mark. Calvin Knight, though, with the offensive board, and he lays it back up and in. And the Ozarks convert on the second chance opportunity. It's back to a 3-point lead. Gray on the drive, all left-handed dribble, kicks it out. Dooley for the corner for 3, and Robbie Dooley connects from downtown after coming up empty on his first 2 tries. We're all tied at 40 here with 17:10 to play in the second half. Johnson looking over, skips it over to Bowman. A tough catch, but he's able to handle it. Working against the defense of Gray and Riddick over on that left side. Renelick on the drive. Blocked by Jordan Gray, but Knight able to get a hand on it, and he scores inside. So another offensive rebound and score by the Ozarks. But what a block by Gray, giving ETBU their 3rd block of the night. Dooley thought about the 3, kicks it back over to Gray. Jordan Gray puts it on the deck. He's chased off that 3-point line. Weston Riddick off the screen. Gray, the stop, the go, looks inside, gets caught, and it's going to be a turnover on Jordan Gray. So the Ozarks will take it as we've got a couple subs coming in. Jacoby Davis has checked in for the Ozarks now, and with a 2-point lead for the Eagles, 42-40. And 16:24 to play here in the second half. Tigers still in for a bit of a fight here. Bouncing over to Bowman. Johnson kicks it back out to Davis. The pump fake. Davis looking, lobs it over to Renelick. And converging on him. The cut inside. Davis had the pump fake, but then Jordan Gray strips him down low. And he comes up the floor racing ahead. Throws it behind his head for Haynes, but he was picked off, and here come the Ozarks. The lay-in by Bowman is up and good on the 2-on-1. Fontenot wide open on the other side, doesn't get it, and he's very upset as he was wide open. Weston Riddick on the drive, lobs it up for Haynes. Haynes on the catch, kicks it back out for Robbie Dooley, and he'll reset here. 10 on the shot clock. The hesitation, the drive by Dooley, banks it home with the left hand. And Robbie Dooley, coming alive here, has 5 points in this second half, 15 for the game. Here's the drive, the bounce inside for Knight. Knight blocked from behind, but a foul. And Knight will shoot 2 free throws right on the other side of this media timeout. Ozarks leading 44 42, 15-11 to go here. Folks, you know the drill. Don't go anywhere.
I'm excited the next 4 years and what the future holds for me at ETBU.
We're a Christ-centered university, and we're putting God first.
We are the light on the hill. God calls us to be the light and to spread it.
I feel like I'm experiencing something that I'm not going to ever experience again, and I wouldn't change it for anything else.
Ever since the day I stepped foot on this campus, I have felt right at home.
We're back on the ETBU Sportsnet. Tigers down by 2, shooting from the field. They brought it all the way up to 41%. And overall, having a better start to the second half than in the first. As his first 4.5 minutes or so, they've scored 12 points. Down only 2, but Knight will go to the line. And the Ozarks, he's been doing most of the damage so far here, scoring on several opportunities inside. Still struggling from 3, though, as the free throw rattles in for Knight, who comes in at just over 60% at the charity stripe. Connects on that one. He's got another one coming here. Second free throw is good. Corey Willem has checked into the ball game. Here comes Dooley off the inbounds. Spencer Cochran in, as well as Jarrell Taylor and Zach Elliott. The bounce to the high post for Elliott, looking for the open man. Kicks it back out to Robbie Dooley, and he goes off the dribble, the spin, and looking inside, somehow gets it over to Taylor, and gets it back out to Fontenot. Fontenot going behind the back, lost it. A little bit too loose with the basketball, and Johnson picks it up, going against the defense of Dooley. He scores, and the foul. And just like that, the Ozarks back on top by 6. 14:44 to play. I was just getting ready to say, it looked as though the Tigers were about to catch momentum as Nathan Fontenot checks out of the ball game, replaced by Jordan Gray, and Johnson at the line looking to complete a 3-point play, and it is too strong. And Willem comes down with the offensive rebound, and another opportunity now for the Ozarks as the Tigers just catch a bad break. Both Cochran and Gray were in the area as Dooley takes it away, goes behind the back. Robbie Dooley, the scoop, comes up short. Just didn't have any airtime as he went up. And Davis on the drive, splits inside. He's stripped. And Jarrell Taylor takes it away off the steal from Gray. And Elliott setting the screen for Jordan Gray. Gray on the double crossover, lobs it up for Elliott. Elliott, the runner, it's good. Great catch and finish by Zach Elliott. And the Tigers narrow it down to 4, but going to try and get some stops here. They've had a couple of solid defensive sequences here in the second half. Let's see what it will produce here. The kick out for Gardner. Thought about it on the fake. Willem kicks it out again. The ball movement. Bowman's 3 way short. Rebounded by Johnson, and Johnson will dump it off to Willem. Kicks it back out. Gardner wide open for 3, and this time they are able to convert. It's a 7-point lead now for the Ozarks as ETBU kicks it over to Taylor. Jarrell Taylor operating, kicks it out for Dooley. Waiting for the Elliott screen. Dooley stepping back. Dooley carving his way. Looks inside. Tried to lob it to Elliott. It hits the rim and comes up off the mark. And here comes the drive by Johnson going into the teeth of the Tiger defense. And he's off the mark. Rebounded by Taylor. Here comes Gray on the push. Waiting for the Elliott screen. And he denies him. Says he does not need it here as he is operating up top. Kicks it over to Elliott. Gerald Taylor on the curl, the back end, the post up, the turnaround, way off, and rebounded by Johnson as he looks inside. Bowman on the cut, and he scores, and the Tigers need a timeout. 12:38 to go here in the second half, and ETBU down by 9 to the Eagles. As we're going to be back here on the ETBU Sports Net, folks. We're in for a pretty tight ball game. Tigers have work to do. Don't go anywhere.
With friendly locations all over East Texas, the Jalapeno Tree has long been a favorite East Texas dining destination for young and old alike. Best known for sizzling fajitas, famous star dinners, and the very best tortillas around. The extensive menu featuring a large assortment of both traditional favorites as well as new contemporary dishes has something for every taste. The Jalapeno Tree invites you to visit the Pepper Posse today. For the complete menu and the location nearest you, visit jalapenotree.com.
Well, the old saying goes, you live by the 3, die by the 3, and right now neither team living from beyond the arc, as Ozarks 4 of 17, ETBU 4 of 18, but more concerning right now for the Tigers. They find themselves down by 9. What was a 2-point deficit a moment ago, they find themselves trailing here 53-44, 12:34 to play here in the second half. Haynes has it on the high post. Cutting is Weston Riddick, who just came back on, along with Nolan Johnson. The lob inside. Great catch. And almost banking it home is Haynes. A beautiful pass, though, by Johnson. Here comes Cordy Winston, who just came on. And the Ozarks right now playing with a ton of confidence. As I said, they knocked off Laterno on last Thursday night. And then ETBU on Saturday. Inside it goes to Davis, and he scores with the offhand. And right now, the Ozarks have nearly all the momentum as Nolan Johnson being guarded tightly by Cordy Winston, lobbing it over to Haynes, working out of the high post once again. Great comes away, handling it up top, looking for the open man. Weston Riddick, a long 3, short, rebounded by Haynes. Haynes going into the body of Gardner, and he scores. And Haynes off the glass cuts it back down to 9, but Tigers looked like they were off to a pretty promising start. Scored 12 points in the first 4.5 minutes. Since then, only 4. Here's Barnes on the bounce. Gardner on the spin. Draws 2. Gardner trying to get it out of there. Eventually he does. Barnes on the drive. Kicks it over to Winston for 3. And it finds its home at the bottom of the net. Rolls around the rim. And it's a 12-point lead now for the Ozarks as Winston getting into Johnson. And Haynes looking. Haynes on the jab step. Trying to get Johnson the ball, kicking it out to Weston Riddick. Riddick on the drive, the pull-up. Riddick fading, too strong. Rebounded by Jacoby Davis, struggling with the handle, but he does get to the front court. Kicks it over to Winston. Cordy Winston looking inside, bounces it over. Winston on the fake. Good defense from Johnson. And we're at the midway point just about here of the second half as the Ozarks continue with the 12-point lead. The three-pointer by Lance Gardner, and it continues as ETBU finds themselves trailing by 15 now. Johnson up the floor, slithers his way, kicks it out. Gray, a good look from 3. That's good. And for Jordan Gray, that could get this ETBU Tigers run started. They're down 12 right now, but they are looking to chip away at this lead even more. 10:05 to play here in the second half. Tigers trail 61-49. We'll be back here on the ETBU Sports Net.
I love the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger. Absolutely the best thing ever.
You asked for it, and it's back.
It comes with 2 100% pure beef patties,
You have the crunchiness of the bacon, the onions, the way it all comes together.
The sauce plays a big role in a sandwich.
When you combine it with everything, that's what makes it so good.
A1 Thick and Hearty! It's back. That's the A1 Thick and Hearty burger.
It's back at Whataburger for a limited time.
It's a little piece of heaven right here.
So the numbers for ETBU slightly higher than they were at the half. However, the Ozarks have improved from what was a 41% shooting performance in the first 20 minutes, only up to 50% for the field. As a couple subs are in for the Ozarks, Tim Turpin checking into the ball game, the 6'6" forward sophomore. And Tigers, after that three-pointer by Jordan Gray, down 12. They're looking to pick it up here as the feed inside for Lance Gardner, and he draws the foul as Cochran committed. And he'll go to the line here, biting on that up fake. A cardinal sin in basketball, leaving your feet against the defender. 9:51 to go here. Gardner at the line, sinks the first one. As Gardner had a solid game on Saturday off the bench. In fact, he was one of 3 bench players for the Ozarks to score in double figures. So got a lot of production from that second unit. And it's just my opinion. They have players on that second unit that could be better than a few of their starters, but nonetheless, they're up 14 here after making 2. And Weston Riddick trying to get Gardner off his feet. And Gardner tried to save it. It does go off the leg of Chris Haynes. And Weston Riddick just trying to get something going. He's now 1 for 7 from the floor. Was 0 for 3 in the first half. 1 for 4 in this second half. So he is really struggling right now. Tigers down 14, the feed inside for Turpin, and he banks it home. And it's now a 16-point lead for the Ozarks here. Here comes Johnson on the push to Cochran, and he gets it over to Gray. Jordan Gray has provided a bit of a spark. The baseline drive, they cut him off nicely. He's trapped, kicks it out to Riddick. Riddick, an open shot, dribbles in and scores. And nice to see Weston Riddick going to the mid-range a little bit more here, trying to find his range a bit. It's been a bit off. But the Tigers down 14 once again as the Ozarks working against this zone. Barnes bounced back up top to Davis, back to Winston. Cordy Winston hit 4 threes on Saturday against the Tigers. Barnes lost it. Good harassing defense by ETBU, and now he finds a crease. Kicks it out, though, to Jacoby Davis, and he knocks down the 3. And all of a sudden, Ozarks coming alive from beyond the arc. That's their 7th make from distance. Nolan Johnson looking and gets it over to Weston Riddick. Lob over to Haynes. Haynes looking off the screen and the feed inside. Great feed and the catch and finish by Jordan Gray on the good 2-man game between he and Chris Haynes from out top. Chris Haynes very good at operating at that high post as kind of a point forward, so to speak. And that time showcasing some of his passing ability. Working against the zone again. A 3-pointer from Winston, in and out. And Tim Turpin finally comes up with the rebound and called for steps as he struggled to control the ball. Turnover Ozarks. It'll go back to ETBU. Tigers down 15. But they very much have plenty of time here to cut this down to a manageable margin. We'll be back after this media timeout. 7:39 to play. We'll be back.
Faith, determination, loyalty, teamwork. These are just a few of the core values that both East Texas Baptist University and Marshall Ford Lincoln have in common. I'm Matt Moore, General Manager of Marshall Ford Lincoln, and at Marshall Ford Lincoln, we're both proud and grateful for our relationship with East Texas Baptist University Athletics. From all of us at Marshall Ford Lincoln, we wish you nothing but success in your 2017-2018 seasons. And go get them, Tigers.
We're back on the ETBU Sports Net. Band is still rocking and rolling. The ETBU Roar Core alive and kicking here tonight, but the Tigers have got to find some life here over the next 7:39. They're down 15 against this Ozarks team who is definitely showed some grit and fight here, as they were very much out of the standings for the most part on the season, but a few big wins over the last several days. There's a nice feed inside, and Cochran is fouled, but the foul called on the floor, so the basket will not count. Cochran doing a good job moving off the ball and operating inside. He's got a lot of length here in that 6'7" frame, and he's played well for the Tigers for the most part over the last several weeks. Riddick looking for the open man. He'll find Nolan Johnson. A little over 7 minutes to play here. Johnson, the crossover, looking, lobs it over to Cochran. Cochran with the shot clock down to 5. Launches and misses from 3. And rebound to the Eagles. Looking. And Cochran almost picked that pass off. Cordy Winston struggles with it, and a lot of shoving down low. Cochran lays it up, and he is fouled, as he did not like the play by the Ozarks, and he is frustrated as he goes to the charity stripe. It's both Cochran and Gardner getting to it up the floor. And Cochran looking to chip into this 15-point deficit. Some jawing going on down there at the charity stripe. Cochran at the line. The first free throw is up and good. Another one coming for Cochran. He cuts it to 14. This game has had several chippy moments here, as these are two teams, I tell you, as the second free throw is in and out on Spencer Cochran, it will stay at 14. But as I said, both these teams have a lot at stake here. There's only about 3 games remaining, and the game, as we look ahead at the schedule for the Tigers, they'll play Texas Tyler, but that is not an ASC match, as the Patriots will go to Division II play, as there's a jump ball underneath. It will stay with the Ozarks, but as we look at the schedule, they've got Belhaven again, Louisiana College, Laterno, and then Texas Dallas. So 4 ASC contests left, as the Tigers coming up the floor. Fontenot looking, gets it over to Johnson. Johnson on the drive, dumps it inside for Elliott, and Elliott called for the travel, as Robbie Dooley checking back in for Nolan Johnson, and 6:17 to play. Tigers trying to find some life. It seems like the air has been sucked out of the building a little bit here in the second half. Here comes Bryson Johnson. Bowman looking for the open man, kicks it back to Johnson. As Gardner, and got away with a travel big time. As he drives baseline, Elliott cuts him off. The bounce and a kick ball. Spencer Cochran going to the deck, almost came up with it. Bowman the pump fake. The drive by Johnson inside, the up, the under, can't get it to fall. Doesn't hit the rim, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. Good defense by ETBU, and just need a couple of more stops here. With 5:46 to play, as the head coach, Jonathan Vines for the Ozarks, not liking what he is seeing. He calls for time. 5:46 to play. The Tigers down 14. We'll be back on the ETBU Sports Net. Don't go anywhere, folks.
I'm excited about the next 4 years and what the future holds for me at ETBU.
We're Christ-centered university, and we're putting God first.
We are the light on the hill. God calls us to be the light and to spread it.
I feel like I'm experiencing something that I'm not going to ever experience again, and I wouldn't change it for anything else.
Ever since the day I stepped foot on this campus, I have felt right at home.
Why is he throwing up? What? We're back here on the ETBU Sports Net. Tigers trying to make a run here. They're down by 14 to the Ozarks, and if they lose this one, they can drop to 5th, which will put them out of the running for the ASC tournament. However, plenty of time remaining as both teams are battling here, and still 4 games remaining. As Western Riddick off the dribble drives, gets inside, left-handed layup is up and good. And I think this is the first time since I've been here at ETBU that I've seen Western Riddick penetrate for a left-handed layup. And he scores. He's got 6 points all here in the second half. What you really would like to see next is him getting it going from beyond the arc. Great defense by the Tigers, but Gardner waiting along that three-point line comes up short. Rebounded by Dooley. Robbie Dooley on the push. Hits it ahead to Cochran. Cochran thought about 3, and the bounce inside for Elliott. He's stripped down low by Davis, and a turnover. Here come the Ozarks. The no-look blocked away again by Zach Elliott, but a foul. What a rejection on the breakaway. And Bowen will go to the line. But what a beautiful block by Elliott. Not sure exactly where the foul occurred. It may have been on the body. We've got 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go in this one. And Bowman can go to the line and put the Ozarks up by 13, and he does. Gray checking in for Spencer Cochran. Another free throw will put him back up by 14. Plenty of time left for the Tigers in this ball game and in this season, as the second free throw is also good. As Dooley being guarded tightly in the back court by Davis. Kick over up top for Elliott. The drive, and Gray to the rack. Body contact, and he draws the foul, so he will shoot 2. 70-56 is your score. Gray trying to cut this deficit down to 13 and ultimately 12 here. 2 shots coming up. Gray at the line, and he nails it. 1 more coming for Jordan Gray. He's had a solid ball game thus far. 11 points. He's hit 2 triples. And hits again at the charity stripe. 12-point game right now. Johnson comes up the floor. 4:30 to play here in the second half. Bowman may have gotten away with a walk. I forget sometimes there's no traveling in basketball. At least that's what it seems like. Willem kicking it back out to Gardner. Operating against the zone again. Bowman pops to the open area. Gardner, the long 3 with the shot clock down to 3. And Fontenot cleans up the board. And here comes Nathan Fontenot. Using the screen, steps back for 3 from straight away. In and out. Rebounded by Lads Gardner. And coming up the floor are the Ozarks here. Under 4 to play. And they're up by 12. And facing the zone defense now of the Tigers here. Gardner will bounce inside. Willem in post position. Can't score it, though. Rebounded by Elliott. Great job by Zach Elliott to stand his ground. And here comes Jordan Gray. Gray with the crossover. Kicking it out to Weston Riddick. Lobbing it up for Elliott. Elliott the catch. Elliott the reverse. Can't score it. Gets his own miss. Dooley for 3. In and out. Rebounded by Johnson. And the Tigers just trying to find that igniter right now, and they are still down 12 as they swing it again. Back up top to Johnson now, working against that 3-2 zone defense. The bounce back over, and the lob for Gardner can't handle it. Eventually comes down with it, kicking it inside to Willem. Willem, he's been in the paint for a while. I was getting ready to say, and he will get the 3-second violation. I was going to say, he was there for a while, at least for half the shot clock. We're going to have ourselves our final media timeout of the ball game. Your Tigers, they're down 12, 70-58, but they're not done yet. We'll be back on the ETBU Sportsnet. Don't go anywhere.
Family owned and operated, and with locations across East Texas, the Jalapeno Tree has a passion for crazy good Mexican food, striving to create a family-friendly atmosphere with a focus on fresh, healthy food, quality ingredients, and exemplary service. The Pepper Posse team has over 20 years' experience in crafting a wide variety of unique and made-to-order, delicious dining options each and every day. For the complete menu and the location nearest you, visit jalapenotree.com.
We look at the stats for ETBU. They're shooting 22 of 55 from the floor for 40%. The Ozarks just under 50% for the game right now. As they will throw in. Tigers just 21% from beyond the arc. The crossover by Dooley, looking for the open man. It's Riddick. It's a three. It's good. And Weston Riddick cuts it down to 9. And with 2:40 to play, folks, this could get interesting down the stretch. Weston Riddick with 9 points, all in the second half. I was going to say he had to get it going because the Tigers need a spark, and they need it desperately here. 70-61 right now. The jab step and Gardner's jumper on the baseline won't go. Ozarks a couple empty trips, and here comes ETBU kicking it to Gray. Gray on the fake. Gray on the drive. Backs it back out, and he'll reset, lobbing it over to Haynes, working up top. Haynes looking for Gray. The spin by Gray. Gray on the drive, and he is fouled as he goes down hard. Goes down again. Not sure exactly what happened. But Jordan Gray will go to the charity stripe where the Tigers are 9 of 12. Gray and Weston Riddick. And a big catalyst for ETBU here in second half. Gray, I believe he has 12 points right now. Dooley's been quiet as of late, but he does have 15. And Gray hits the first. It's an 8-point game with 2:01 to play. As Calvin Knight checking back in. So the Ozarks have almost all 5 of their starters out there. As Lance Gardner taking the place of Darnell Renelick. Second free throw for Gray is up and good. So Jordan Gray cashing in at the line. And it's a 7-point game. Tigers battling down to the wire with the Ozarks. As the crossover by Johnson, and it's stripped. And Robbie Dooley inside, lays it up and in, using his body to get to the rack. And it's a 5-point game. And it's going to be a 3-point play. I thought for a second somebody was calling a timeout, but it's a 3-point play opportunity. Robbie Dooley with the steal and the deal at the other end. Let's see if he can cash in at the line. He can make it a 4-point game, and he does. Robbie Dooley with the clutch play. And the Ozarks, let's see. And they need a towel on the basketball as it's getting a little slick down there. We're late in the game. It's a 4-point lead right now as Jacoby Davis telling Bowman to go and inbound the basketball for the Ozarks. Tigers extending their defense, looking for the open man, almost getting a 5-second count, and fouled from behind was Gardner as Riddick runs into him, and that's going to be, so that's 4 fouls on Weston Riddick, and 16 fouls for the Ozarks. They get it over to Davis. Davis trapped. Davis stumbles. Davis somehow not able to come up with it. Jordan Gray and gets it over to Fontenot. Fontenot lays it in. It's a 2-point game. The Tigers have the momentum and they call for time. ETBU not done yet. It's a 10-0 run for the Tigers. We'll be back on the ETBU Sports Net. Folks, don't go anywhere.
I'm excited about the next 4 years and what the future holds for me at ETBU.
We're Christ-centered university, and we're putting God first.
We are the light on the hill. God calls us to be the light and to spread it.
I feel like I'm experiencing something that I'm not going to ever experience again, and I wouldn't change it for anything else.
Ever since the day I stepped foot on this campus, I have felt right at home.
I tell you what, folks, this is why I love the game of basketball. It is a game of runs. It has been up and down, and the Tigers, who have been down for most of the night, are right back in it. And right now, it's a 2-point game, a 10-0 run for ETBU. They extend the pressure as Johnson handling against Nathan Fontenot. Fontenot with a good pressure defense, the drive, the bounce inside for Calvin Knight, and he scores and puts the Ozarks back up by 4. Tigers continuing the battle here. They could have folded, and the spin move by Dooley. Dooley can't bank it, but he's up and in and can't get it to fall. They're battling inside, going to the deck. It's going to be a jump. It stays with ETBU. But how about Robbie Dooley missing on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh attempt, and finally the Tigers come away with the possession. And with 1:09 to play, folks, I tell you, this is a good one here. Dooley looking to inbound. It's a 4-point game. Ozarks 72, Tigers 68. Dooley looking to inbound here. This is certainly a game that will have the Tigers battle tested. Dooley looking, gets it over to Riddick. Riddick, the fall away, the three, in and out, and rebounded by Johnson. And that is definitely a shot within Weston Riddick's range. If you all can remember the dagger he sank against UT Tyler last year from just about the parking lot. But right now the Tigers have got to continue to come up with stops here. We're under. They need to play. Robbie Dooley with the steal again. Robbie on defense. Here comes Fontenot kicking it to Dooley. Dooley down the lane. The bounce. And he's fouled. It's on the floor. But either way, he's going to go to the line for free throws because the Ozarks are in the penalty. And how about Robbie Dooley on the defensive end? Digging in, and the Tigers are not done yet, folks. Dooley at the line. They're in the midst of a 10-2 run. First free throw for Robbie Dooley for the 1-and-1. It is up and good. And they have been battle tested, I tell you. This has been quite the ball game. Here comes the second free throw here for Dooley here. 72-69. Dooley gets to the crawl home. And Nolan Johnson checking in for a Weston Riddick. Offense, well, defense for offense, rather. The substitution. Bowman has it. And a 10-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Rather, it's going to be about 8 seconds. And Fontenot with the foul. Nathan Fontenot picks up just his first, and that's the 7th team foul now for ETBU. Not sure you want to foul in that situation because they still had the entire shot clock to work with. It was an 8-second difference, so even if they were to break the pressure and get a scoring opportunity, Tigers would have a chance to answer at the other end. However, it would put them down 4. So I suppose for Nathan Fontenot, it ultimately does turn out to be a good first free throw is good for Johnson. It's a 3-point lead. Another one coming here. .8 to play, and he sinks both. Clutch free throw shooting, and Jacoby Davis almost comes up with the steal off the inbound, kicks it, and Fontenot 3. He's fouled from beyond the arc, and he'll march to the free throw line for 3 free throws. Folks, that almost went down, but he'll have to get him from the free throw line. That would have tied the ball game, or at least had the opportunity to tie the ball game. That foul on Bryson Johnson for a 3rd time. 3 free throws for Nathan Fontenot. The first is good. He's got 2 more coming here. It's a 3-point game, 27 seconds. The Tigers, I tell you what, the fortitude of this team has been fantastic here. They were down by 17 actually at one point. Nathan Fontenot hits again. He's got another one coming as Gardner checking in, or rather, I think Kelvin Knight just came on for Renelick. Final free throw for Fontenot. It's good. He sinks all 3. A 1-point game. Nolan Johnson in for defensive purposes for ETBU. Jacoby Davis to inbound. And Johnson with it. Knocked away by Fontenot. Almost came up with the steal. And it was deflected. It will stay with the Ozarks, but the Tigers have turned up their backcourt pressure. And right now, Ozarks in a heap of trouble here as Chris Haynes trying to harass the inbound. And Jacoby Davis looking. He'll lob it up. And is it taken away by Robbie Dooley? They say no. They say it's going to be a foul on Dooley instead. Robbie Dooley really competing on the defensive end of the floor. As Gardner will step to the line. Lance Gardner shooting at the line for the season. 68%. So there's a chance he can split these free throws. In fact, he's got 1 right now. Here's a free throw. It's good. So he knocks it down. He's made 2 tonight. And that gives the Ozarks a 2-point lead. Another one coming here. Gardner sinks both. It's a 3-point lead. Robbie Dooley racing up the floor. Robbie going against the defense. Sidesteps. Gets hit. And a foul. And he's going to go to the line. 20 seconds to go here. Robbie Dooley absorbing all kinds of contact. And he will shoot 2. Free throws have become so important for the Tigers. They have only missed 3 tonight. Dooley at the line. In and out on the first. Robbie's got another one coming. He can still make it a 2-point game. And he can make it 76-74. Hits the second. Robbie Dooley has been solid. He's shooting better than 86% at the line, but goes 1 of 2 on that trip. Good ball denial by Nolan Johnson, and Bowman trapped. Looking for the outlet. He finds it, but he is fouled. With 16.5 seconds to play here. And it's going to be 2 free throws fouled by Jordan Gray. So they can make this a 4-point game. And effectively, the Tigers will have to score quickly after the free throws. 19 fouls on ETBU. And Riddick returns for ETBU. Darnell Renelick also on the floor. Free throws for Bowman here. He was 11 of 12 last weekend. And misses! Rebounded by Gray. And Jordan Gray, they can either tie or take the lead. It's a big possession for ETBU. And Curran calls for time with 7.3 seconds to go. Let's see what they draw up here. Bowman hit the free throw hard off the heel. Tigers have a chance. We'll be back on the ETBU Sportsnet.
I'm excited at the next 4 years and what the future holds for me at ETBU.
We're at Christ-centered university, and we're putting God first.
We are the light on the hill. God calls us to be the light and to spread it.
I feel like I'm experiencing something that I'm not going to ever experience again, and I wouldn't change it for anything else.
Ever since the day I stepped foot on this campus, I have felt right at home.
We are back on the ETBU Sportsnet, folks. This is a nail-biter. Tigers trail 76-74 with 7.3 remaining in the ball game. Ozarks not yet on the floor. Tigers are ready. I believe they called another timeout, but we'll keep it here. Right now, the Tigers. So we have a quick look at stats here. The free throws for ETBU. Nearly double the attempts, or almost double the attempts of the Ozarks, and that has become key down the stretch. And now we are ready here, 7 seconds to go. The Tigers, this is a big time possession here. Both teams battling for that 4th place spot in the ASC East. And they'll go into the backcourt to Robbie Dooley. 5 seconds to go. Working against the defense of Davis. Drives right at him. The layup. Banks it in off the glass. He ties the ball game. 1.2 seconds to go. And they throw it up. And it does not go. Folks, we've got extra basketball here. Robbie Dooley with the clutch play. We'll be back here on the ETBU Sportsnet with overtime here from our Nellis Gymnasium. We're tied. Tigers 76, Ozarks 76. Don't go anywhere.
I love the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger. Absolutely the best thing ever.
You asked for it, and it's back.
It comes with 2 100% pure beef patties.
You have the crunchiness of the bacon, the onions, when it all comes together. The sauce plays a big role in a sandwich. When you combine it with everything, that's what makes it so good.
A1 Thick and Hearty! It's back. That's the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger.
It's back at Whataburger for a limited time.
It's a little piece of heaven right here.
In towns across East Texas, folks have come to rely on the jalapeno tree for fresh, healthy, and made-to-order crazy good Mexican food, crafted with local love and care, with a focus on customer service and satisfaction, and not on the bottom line.
Back on the ETBU Sports Net, the Tigers shooting 42% from the floor, but they forced 3 crucial turnovers on the Ozarks in the final 3.5 minutes in regulation. We've got overtime as Gardner and Haynes will jump it up at midcourt here. 5-minute overtime session, and the Tigers win the tip. They have a chance to scratch first here in overtime. ASC East standings on the line here. The hesitation by Dooley. Dooley on the reverse. Banks it up and in. Robbie Dooley with the score. And he's doing it again. It's a 78-76 lead for ETBU. The Ozarks continuing the battle here. Down the stretch, they lob it over to Davis. Back up top to Johnson. They swing it around again. Gardner has it. Looking to feed it inside the pump fake. Back up top to Bowman. And now again over to Johnson. The lob. Dooley knocks it away. Shot clock is down to 4. And the Ozarks turn it over. Gardner steps out of bounds. And the Tigers have really locked in defensively. And a big stop there. It's 78-76. Here comes Dooley up the floor. The screen by Riddick. Riddick trying to pop free again. Dooley on the spin. Dooley inside. Dooley lays it in. It's the Robbie Dooley show. And he gives the Tigers a 4-point lead. What a ball game from Robbie Dooley for the longest time. He was quiet from the floor. He has awakened and he has erupted here in the last several minutes for ETBU. The baseline drive by Gardner dumps it down to Knight. Knight doesn't know what to do with it. Gets tied up. Gets stripped. It goes to the deck. And they get tied up. They call for time as Knight's a bit shaken up. Both Dooley and Knight have hit the deck. And Robbie Dooley, he has been the catalyst on both ends of the floor. 3:39 to play, folks. In overtime, Tigers 80. Ozarks 76. We'll be back on the ETBU Sports Net.
In towns across East Texas, folks have to rely on the jalapeno tree for fresh, healthy, and made-to-order crazy good Mexican food, crafted with local love and care, with a focus on customer service and satisfaction. And not on the bottom line, the jalapeno tree stands behind everything they serve. So the next time you're seeking a unique dining experience, look beyond the boring big chain fare. For the complete menu and the location nearest you, visit jalapenotree.com.
Folks, if you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you're on the edge of your seat right now. Tigers leading by 4, though. They have overcome a 17-point deficit in the last 5 or 6 minutes or so, and they have really put together a strong performance. Shot clock is at 1. The foul as Johnson drives to the basket, and he's going to shoot 2 as the shot clock expires. That's the second foul on Chris Haynes. And he can cut this lead down to 2 with 2 free throws. Bryson Johnson, and he misses the first. Johnson, a 60% just under 61% from the charity stripe. And he's got another one coming here. The best he can do is a 3-point deficit. And he goes 1 for 2. Robbie Dooley coming across. And boy, has he played 2 fantastic games against this Ozarks squad. Working, trying to get it to Haynes. And Haynes eventually has to come beyond the 3-point line to get it. Trying to get it to Fontenot. Hands it over to Jordan Gray, kicking it back to Dooley. Dooley has been the captain in the clutch here. The crossover, trying to get to the rack. Losing Renelick, and he's shoved out of bounds. So that's going to be 2 free throws now for Dooley. He can put the Tigers up by 5 with 2 here. He's only missed 1 free throw tonight. I think he's 8 of 9 at the stripe. And Robbie Dooley looking to convert here. Here comes the first. It is up and good. One more coming for Dooley. So we have a look at the road ahead for the Tigers. They're on the road next week, taking on Belhaven and Louisiana College. Robbie Dooley sinks both. But on Saturday, February 2nd, they will take on Texas Tyler, a team that they defeated on Thursday night 88-78. The kick to the corner, Gardner's 3, short. Offensive rebound goes to Renelick, and he scores inside. And it's back to a 3-point game. Here is Robbie Dooley coming up the floor again, setting things up. Renelick has switched on to him. Dooley getting inside. Dooley drives, can't bank it, but he draws the foul. And Robbie Dooley, it's got to be past a career high at this point, or at least coming up to it. His career high is 30. 4th foul on Gardner. And Dooley knocks it in. It's a 4-point game again. His career high, as I was going to say, is 30, which he scored against UMHB, and he's living at the line here. Connects on 2 more, and it's a 5-point lead now. ETBU as Johnson lets it roll, giving the Ozarks ample opportunity here to score again. Dooley with 29 points after that free throw, so he's 1 point away. Gray knocks it away. Dooley coming out of no place to take it away. And a crossover, he'll settle it down. What a defensive effort started by the tip away by Gray, the drive by Dooley. He'll back it out. And that's going to be a moving screen on Chris Haynes, so an offensive foul. But that's the first turnover for ETBU in quite some time. Just their 12th. Ozarks has 16 now turnovers. Back over to Johnson. And back over to Barnes, who just came back on. Kicking it over to Johnson. Johnson, a straight-on triple off the mark. Rebounded by Fontenot, but Fontenot had it knocked away. Bowman turns and fires for 3. He comes up short. Knocked away. It will stay with ETBU. Tigers battling underneath. Under 2 minutes to go. 1:54 on the clock as Willem checks in, or at least attempting to check in for the Ozarks. Folks, what a ball game this has turned out to be here for Ornelas Gymnasium. Riddick waiting to inbound. And they're going to go to the replay. I'm not sure what for, but I guess they're discussing who has possession of the basketball. We'll be back here on the ETBU Sports Net. Tigers leading 84-79. 29 for Robbie Dooley. We'll be back in a moment. We're back here on the ETBU Sports Net. Tigers have increased their shooting percentage to 44%. Still struggling from three, just 6 of 25. However, as Dooley is tackled and goes to the deck, falls out of bounds, and he's okay. As he's trying to walk it off there, stumbled out of bounds. And that is a foul called on, let's see here. That's on Barnes. And Robbie Dooley to shoot 2 here. He's got 29 points today. What an impressive performance from him tonight, especially in this second half. First free throw is up and good. So Robbie Dooley ties a career high of 30. Looking to set one here with the next one. Tigers as a team at the charity stripe, 23 of 27. And Dooley with a new career high of 31 points. As the Tigers are up by 7, 86-79. A minute 45 to play here in overtime. Well, I don't know about you folks, but this has been the longest, most stressful 5 minutes of my life. The straight-on triple by Winston is up and good. It's a 4-point game. You don't want to leave him wide open, as he is capable of drilling it from above the arc. Tigers trying to get it across, and they do. Nathan Fontenot handling it, gets it back over to Weston Riddick. Gets it over to Haynes. Dooley waiting. Dooley inside. Robbie Dooley wide open for the layup. Banks it home. He adds to a career high. 33 for Robbie Dooley. It's a 6-point lead for ETBU. Several subs in right now, though, for the Ozarks. Winston on the drive, kicks it out to the corner. Bowman's 3 off the mark. He is just struggling. Gardner gets it stripped down low by Haynes, and a foul called on Chris Haynes. It's a reach-in. And with 54.9 to play, Gardner will go to the line for 2 shots. It's Gardner. It's 4-4 at the line. These are huge for the Ozarks here, trying to stay alive in the ASC tournament race. He hits the first. But enough can't be said with the job Robbie Dooley has done here tonight. He has just absolutely put the team on his back, going beast mode here in this second half. Second free throw is good from Gardner, so he connects at the line, and he's replaced by Tim Turpin. It's a 4-point lead for the Tigers, 88-84. Dooley breaking free, and they put pressure on him in the backcourt, or at least they were. They received the pressure, and the Tigers can hold it effectively. They're not in a rush to score. Time is against the Ozarks, however, and Dooley will dribble this all the way down to about 9 seconds here. Waits for the screen, gets it, the hesitation, draws 2, kicks it out. Gray, the 3, too strong, but Haynes, the offensive rebound, and the Tigers are in control. And they tried to foul Jordan Gray, and eventually they do, as he is hit hard. Goes to the deck. I think he hit the back of his neck on the knee of Renelick. And he is down, slow to get up. May have gotten the wind knocked out of him a bit. And actually they call a foul on Bowman, so that's his third. And Gray should be going to the line. And Jordan Gray getting an ovation from the crowd, because Jordan Gray can give the Tigers a 6-point lead here with 2 free throws coming up. Let's see here, something inspiring here. As no, both teams just getting back. So Gray will be at the line sinks the first. He's got another one coming here. I believe they called a technical. Not 100% certain, but I believe they called a technical foul on the Ozarks as Gray in and out on the second. But the Tigers will maintain possession. And with a 5-point lead, the Tigers, with 16.5 left, still in complete command. They get it to Fontenot. Fontenot chasing, gets it to Gray, and a quick foul. And Fontenot will step to the line. He's 5 for 7 tonight. And that is 4 fouls now. If that's Bowman, that is his 4th. Tigers up 5. Fontenot looking to add to that. Fontenot has been at the line quite a bit, and that is the 4th on Bowman. 14 seconds to go in this contest, and he sinks the first. It's a 6-point lead for ETBU. How about the fortitude of the Tigers? Enough can't be said about how they have just battled back as Fontenot sinks a pair. Winston letting it roll. Now he'll pick it up. He lost it. Eventually get to the Barnes. Barnes, a fall-away triple. And fouled by Haynes. That's his 5th. And he'll take a long walk to the bench. Not a smart foul on Haynes. And the team up 7. It's 91-84, just under 10 seconds to go. 9.7 to be exact. Barnes will shoot 3 free throws. Here's the first, off the mark. And Fontenot comes flying in. Not sure why exactly, he's got 3. Here comes the second. Off again. The Tigers have, for the most part, iced this ball game. And the Ozarks' chances dwindling down. He goes 1 for 3. And Fontenot quickly fouled by Blackmore. And Fontenot will shoot 2. Fontenot 7 of 9 at the stripe here. It's a 6-point lead for ETBU, and they will effectively keep a hold on that 4th spot in the ASC East. And Fontenot coming up short at the line. One more coming. He can still make it a 7-point game. Tigers have done well at the stripe for the most part. And he goes 1 for 2. 7-point lead. This is Blackmore. The 3 off the mark and rebounded by Gardner. Gardner fires from deep and not gonna go. The Tigers, who battle from all the way back to take this ball game behind a career night from Robbie Dooley, 33 points. He was absolutely tremendous in crunch time. And the Tigers win it 92-85. And they hold on to that 4th spot in the ASC East. Next up is a matchup with the UT Tyler Patriots on Saturday here at Ornelas. It'll start as he hears it from the crowd. Robbie Dooley, just absolutely fantastic. He locked into his inner Dwayne Wade in this one, absolutely taking over the ball game. And the Tigers will celebrate here as this team has been up and down for much of the year. They go to 10-10 on the season. 7-5 in ASC play. And I tell you what, Robbie Dooley, He has absolutely put together a tremendous performance. He's also over 1,000 points for his career coming in. He needed, let's see here, I think he needed just under 30 or somewhere around 30 points. And he absolutely gets it with 33 tonight. So he's over 1,000 points for his career here at ETBU. And just what a fantastic performance as head coach Brandon Curran talking to his team at midcourt. Much respect for what this program has done and is continuing to do. What a tremendous game from this ETBU Tigers squad. As I said, join us on Saturday as the women's team will kick off the matchup with the Patriots at 1 o'clock p.m. And the men's squad will round out the doubleheader with a matchup with the Patriots at 3 p.m. Once again, this has been Mark T. Robinson on the ETBU Sports Net. What a ball game. What a finish from Ornelas Stadium. And thank you once again for supporting ETBU Athletics. We'll see you again here, same time on Saturday. Actually, a different time on Saturday. But we'll be back here on the ETBU Sports Net, folks. Thank you, and good night from Ornelas Stadium.